Yeah, MLB Data Warehouse. Where the spreadsheets flow and the takes get spicy. John, Tim, Doc, let's go. Welcome to the warehouse, stat stack to the ceilings. Exit below, flying launch angles, got a feeling. Tim in the corner with the prospect report. Reading fan graphs, blurbs like it's soft core sport. Junior and double A, Tim's losing.
Welcome to the Prospect Warehouse Podcast. This is your host, Tim Kanak. You can find me on X at Fantasy Aceball. And we back to my boy, John Anderson. John, I missed you. I love it. It's fun, but it feels weird when I don't get to talk to you for a week. It's very weird.
Well, you can go ahead and just make the whole dig at Owen if that's what it's about. I mean, if I'm better.
No, Owen's cool. I like Owen. I just, I don't know. I feel like you and I are pretty tight. So if I don't talk to you for a week, I feel like a part of my life is missing or something.
Yeah, you're probably my my best friend that I've never met. You know, of all the people I've never met, I would like to meet you. No homo.
That's an interesting category. Who are your best friends that you have ever actually not met in person?
Although John Legeza might take it. You know.
Oh, come on. I was gonna say though, the sad thing is that there are people that date who have never met in person.
Yeah.
So like how long is that allowed to go? Like how long can you actually date someone online without actually meeting them in person?
Can you call it date? That wouldn't be dating.
I don't know. What do you call that? Well, I guess online flirtation. What do you call cyber flirt?
Just put an E in front of it. Yeah, cyber dating. That would work.
Yeah, it's not even dating though. It's just because how can someone know someone's exclusive or not if you're not
courting? Remember courting?
Yes.
I mean that's
cyber courting. I guess
it's not courting. It's definitely not courting.
Wait.
Courting means like going to the movies, in 1997.
Yeah, cyber flirting for sure is a lot more accurate, I think.
Yeah.
However, I think that there should be a timeline on that. I think that you should not be able to say that you can be in an online relationship with someone if you haven't met them over like a period of, I don't know,
absolutely
3 weeks. Weird.
Yeah, you gotta go meet the girl. Don't do stuff. Don't do weird stuff. You never know who the person is. Catfish. You ever watch Catfish? I love that show.
Teo. Didn't the linebacker Teo get completely catfished by a guy?
But the term came from the show popularized the term. I guess it didn't come from the show, but that's just like it's very sad to watch what some of these people get themselves into. But anyway,
AI is weird too. You can like AI generate yourself to look way better than you.
Or people just. I've heard stories that people basically view themselves as in a relationship with an AI bot because they get like that emotional. I don't even really want to dunk on those people or like make fun of them. That's just like a sign of some you can kind of understand it. Everybody has this longing for companionship and stuff. And it's hard to do that with a human being because you get rejected and the bots like won't do that. It's a sign of the times and not advisable.
It's a new crazy cat lady.
Yeah. It's not. Ugh. And then you're going to get the next thing, which has already happened, I guess, is like because you need the emotional needs met and you need the physical needs met.
Robots.
Yeah.
Yes. Love robots. Love robots will definitely be a thing. That's going to be like the first thing. The first person that buys that Elon robot is definitely going to try something.
Well, they have them for that dirty purpose, right? Like that definitely already exists. I guess they're not like you can't go to Walmart and find them, but I don't think it'll be long. But to pivot. As you can see, I have gone back. I'm a apostate Pirate fan again. I'm a Phillies fan again. I put the Phillies hat back on after a rough sweep. Pirates blew a 6-run lead on Friday night. So back on the east side of Pennsylvania on the Phillies train until the Pirates win a couple again. But we got a big series this week. Cardinals, Pirates again. That'll be a big one. This NL Central, I think the Brewers are playing the Cubs and the Pirates playing the Cardinals. And, I think every NL Central team lost on Sunday. So we got the L's in that. And that thing's kind of normalizing. Still, every team is, I think, one game at least above 500. I don't know what the Reds are. They're slipping. But I don't know. Can we talk about that real quick? Like the Cardinals seem like kind of fake, right? Like this record they have doesn't seem real.
Yes, because the pitching is pretty atrocious and somehow they keep scraping by. But the offense has been far superior. Like who saw the Jordan Walker breakout? Like Jordan Walker is like a top 5 player in baseball right now.
Yeah. I think Zach Wax saw it. I saw Zach Wax, what a guy had on NFBC high stakes season long fantasy player. That's kind of what he's known for. Well, he's also known for just being a jerk, which is my favorite thing about him. But he had like 90% Jordan Walker shares or something like that. And so that's impressive. But I have him on the home league team. And yeah, he had that little dip where he kind of started striking out a lot, but he's been really, really good. So McGreevy's totally fake, right? Or are you one of these guys? 1970?
No, I think Michael McGreevy is just Kyle Hendricks, which is actually, it's pretty funny. When Michael McGreevy was still a prospect, when I was writing over at good old Fantasy Pros before I came over to this side, I had my comp, because I have my comps on all my prospect write-ups. My comp friend was Kyle Hendricks, and literally he's just doing the Kyle Hendricks thing.
He's in a good Kyle. I mean, Kyle Hendricks has had plenty of bad years, but it's good Hendricks right now.
Well, he has amazing command. Like, the one thing that McGreevy has is that guy can paint. That guy has some of the best command in baseball. And if you have really good command and then you are not giving up home runs, then it's going to be fine. Because, like, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? You're going to give up a solo shot. Unless you have one of those innings where you just get, like, BABIPs to death. Like, it's if you don't walk people and you don't give up home runs, like, you can do all right.
But he needs that, like, he's got like a 210 BABIP. Well, actually, I don't know. I might be thinking of
203. 203 BABIP. I mean,
oh my goodness.
There's definitely regression coming. He's not a 2 ERA pitcher. I think he's a 3 ERA guy, though. I think
I'll take the over.
Yeah, I think he's going to always outperform his metrics, but not to the way that he currently is. Like, he's going to outperform slightly, not a lot. Yeah. By the way, talking about the Pirates and the Cardinals, you got Yassin Garcia coming up now.
Yeah, let's do him and Bolte and who else haven't we talked about that got recently called up?
Colt Emerson just got called up too.
Give us a rundown on those three guys. I'll do Garcia because I looked at him this morning. A lot of power, but swings a lot, strikes out a lot, doesn't walk. I think it's going to be ugly. I think big league pitchers will. That's kind of the player type. If you agree that big league pitchers can take advantage of, like, they can pitch around. They can stay out of the heart of the strike zone, limit the power, get you to chase, and it seems like Garcia is probably going to do a lot of that. But we'll get a look at him because O'Hearn's on the IL. So 15 teamers or something deep like that. Like, think about that. But if your standard leagues, like, don't buy Garcia at all. I wouldn't spend any money on him. I don't think it'll go super well. But yeah, I'll leave it to you to talk about Colt Emerson and Henry Bolte, and I guess throw in Waldschmidt there. I guess that's been a little bit, but there's been a rash of call-ups.
Okay, so by the way, Yassin Garcia, the password. Good luck spelling that name. But I saw him this spring, and actually he looked pretty good. I think he had a couple doubles. So I think he's going to be okay from, like, an extra base hit standpoint. I think his extra base hit plus is actually pretty good too. And he hits the ball hard, but he doesn't walk. So he's just going to be one of these, like, I don't know. He's almost going to be like, I feel like he could be Josh Naylor-ish without the steals. He's not going to ever steal like that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. He's going to be like a little Josh Naylor-ish, I think.
It's a terrible park factor for him. PNC Park is real bad for right-handed power. It won't be his major league debut, by the way. He had 9 plate appearances last year, so it's not a debut for technicalities. Struck out 5 of those 9 times before getting sent back to Worcester for the Red Sox.
Yeah, it's sad that because he looked like Manny Ramirez, like, he even has the dreads and everything, so he kind of looked like Manny. So it's kind of sad that he can't wear that Red Sox uniform anymore. But yeah, I kind of like him a little bit. Like, an interesting guy in deep league, I'd take him. Colt Emerson is a higher end prospect, but he's a little boring. I think Colt Emerson is going to be much better for points leagues because he kind of just looks like a 270, 280 hitter with like a 360, 370 on base percentage who can hit 20 bombs, hit a decent amount of doubles, but there's going to be no steals there. And, like, the power is capped. I think his at best, like, a high 20s home run profile. So I think he's going to be a good, but, like, boring good, where, like, he's not going to be a superstar, but he's going to be, like, a really solid, just big leaguer for a long time. Like, think, like, I don't know, like, he's a shortstop, but, like, he could be like Brian Reynolds as a shortstop.
Okay. Yeah.
Bring it back to the Pirates. Which, Brian Reynolds is really good. He's just kind of boring because he does the same thing every year.
Yeah, in a lot of leagues, you need homers and steals. Emerson hit 16 homers, 14 steals last year, so that's the minor leagues, though, so a different story in the majors. I kind of slipped up, and I saw his, like, 816 OPS in AAA this year and didn't think that was very good, but he was hurt, right? And he came back and got healthy and has been a lot better lately. So,
yep. And then Henry Bolte. This guy is just completely inflated by BABIP. So, I mean, I don't know. He's going to have really good weeks, really bad weeks. like I talked about him with Owen a little bit because he was on the T10 the last week before the call up. He's a 455 BABIP right now in the majors. In the minors, he had a 402 BABIP this year, a 407 BABIP last year. Like the 400 BABIPs are not going to be sustainable. Well, they're not going to be sustainable going to the majors. So I think he's going to have a bad batting average. He's going to strike out a lot. He's going to get homers and speed though. So he's going to be very interesting. Like I compared him to Lane Thomas, like how Lane Thomas has had like really good seasons. We're like, oh wow, like 2020, like he could do that, but he's going to have bad years too. So I think he's just going to be like a very volatile player. He's going to be way better for Roto than for like, or for like a weekly Roto league than for like a head to head, just because he's going to piss you off in head to head when he's like over whatever and like not doing anything. So like in a shallow head to head, I would not be the biggest fan of him, but in like deeper Roto leagues, like a 15 team Roto, he's going to be very useful because he's really fast. He's going to steal a lot of bags and he will run into power, even though he hits the ball on the ground like ways too much. Like, I think he could be like a Lane Thomas merged with Astoria Ruiz is kind of like what he is. Like, hopefully, you know, he lucks into playing time, I guess.
And he hasn't played every day. Am I wrong about that? He was benched. He was down yesterday. It's probably
he didn't play the first game, but that might have been like a weird, you know, just hey, he travel thing. Like plane was late or something. Like who knows?
Is he a right-handed hitter? I haven't.
Bolte is a righty.
So he'll be in there every time against lefties and 3 out of 4 against righties, maybe. But then they still have somebody coming back from injury or something. I don't know. Like if he doesn't hit, he's not going to play. He might go like AAA. So
I'm fairly certain that Colby Thomas is just like getting the short end of the stick here.
Yeah, that's too bad. Yep. I mean, it's relying on him in the 30 teamer we have. Was really hoping for something from him, but
yeah, didn't even really get a chance, unfortunately, because he does hit the ball really hard. So that brings us then to Ryan Waldschmidt, who I really like. I actually just traded for him. I'm in a Otnu league where I'm 3-4 right now. This is like my second worst league this year. I'm 3-4 because I have like my whole pitching staff died basically on this team. And so I decided I'm going to sell some pieces, and I traded a $35 Brent Rooker. And I'll talk about this too on the Dynasty podcast. But I traded a $35 Brent Rooker, a $6 Gabby Moreno, and a $7 Drew Rasmussen for a $2 Ryan Waldschmidt, a $4 Carter Jensen, and a $2 Anthony Ianson. So, you know, I got a couple guys that are rookies now that have already debuted, and Ianson is kind of moving fast. So hopefully he helps me next year, and these guys will help me next year on that team because that team's pretty solid. I just had really bad pitching injury luck to start the year, and feel like 3-4 in a 16 team league. I don't know. Like you could go either way with that. It's just like if you have health leaning toward your side or more guys getting hurt. So that's kind of where I felt. Like I had a bunch of I had Snelling in that league, then he got hurt, and then I had Blake Snell come back and he got hurt again. So I was just like, okay, it's just not happening. So I thought it was a pretty solid trade though. I really like Ryan Waldschmidt, especially for a points league. That's one of those odd new points leagues. And this dude can get on base. So 6.5% walk rate thus far is not really what we expect from him.
30. He's swinging 41% of the time, which is really low. That's kind of it's 31 plate appearances on the screen. 14% barrel rate for Waldschmidt is encouraging. Strikeout rate a little bit high, nothing crazy, but the walk should come. Not swinging a lot. Pitchers will, as soon as he punishes a couple balls, pitchers won't be able to just like come right at him like they are. I think you see that like these young guys that typically take a lot of walks in the minors. Like you come from AAA where everybody's kind of afraid of you to the majors and they want to make you prove it first. So you probably don't see the walk rates right out of the gate unless you're Travis Bazzana, and then you do. But AJ Ewing, talk about him too, because we didn't or I didn't ever.
Oh yeah, I love Ewing. So Ewing, I compared to before. I said I think he's going to be kind of like Jarren Duran, where he's a speed guy that's going to turn into a speed and power guy. And we already saw a homer from him. So that's pretty solid here. 209 WRC plus thus far. A triple too for Duran or for Ewing, and 2 steals. So a lot of fun. This guy, he has a really good hit tool, can take walks. And like when you're a speed guy, that's what you want, is someone who can just get on base. And he also has a little bit of pop. So like he's a speed guy that only hits the ball on the ground 40% of the time. And a lot of the time you're like, no, just get on base. Be the Justin Crawford and just get ground balls. But I think that Ewing can develop 15 homer power. So I feel like why would you want him to hit the ball on the ground when you can hit doubles and get into power and be like a huge extra base hit guy. I really like Ewing a lot. I think he's a really interesting, fun player that is going to kind of outperform the prospect status or like the prospect ranking that a lot of people had him at.
Yeah, plate discipline stuff. I think that might stabilize a little bit quicker. We've seen 25 plate appearances from Ewing, so really nothing to go off of, but a really low swing rate. Though this is from the main dashboard here on the screen if you're watching. He has seen a lot of pitches outside the strike zone, probably just mistakes rather than we got to stay away from this guy. But 89% zone contact, that's good news. And like you said, even if he's not hitting for power yet, the steals should be there. He's been one of the best guys in the minors at that. So Ewing should definitely be owned everywhere, I'd say. The other guys kind of consider league settings and whatnot.
Yeah, just for fun, because I am updating my prospect rankings right now. So, by the way, this is going to be the last T10 podcast for probably a couple weeks, but we'll do some other stuff in the meantime. Just because I'm updating my prospect rankings and my writing time needs to go to that. But here's a good example. I've got AJ Ewing currently at 29. As I'm doing this, Colt Emerson at 25, Ryan Walchman at 16. So that should give you a good idea kind of where I have these guys that we just talked about. Who else did we talk about? There's someone else I missed.
Garcia, do you have him anywhere?
Yeah, Yastinson is like a top 200, 250 guy. Like he is not a 150 type guy, but should be interesting at least, especially for Pirates who need offense. Okay, top 10, T10 for the week. Okay, number 10. I had to look up how to say his last name, and AI apparently you say the name Jackson Jackson is how you're supposed to say it. AI told me to
or
say
AI is wrong. Maybe AI is wrong.
So number 10 is Jackson Lovich with the Yankees and MIZ. That's right. I got my Mizzou.
Okay.
He went to the University of Missouri, Jackson Lovich, and was drafted by the Yankees this last year in the 16th round. So 16th round. We got a 6'4", 195-pound shortstop. So big dude who hits the crap out of the ball. So far this season, he's hitting 310, 400, 602 slash, at least as of my writing of the article. And last week, he had 4 homers, 3 steals, hit 435. He now has on the season 7 home runs, 17 extra base hits, and 17 steals. And this guy has a pretty bad hit tool, John, but this is what I like about him. He hits the ball really, really hard. So 113.6 max EV so far, 13.3% barrel rate. So he's barreling the ball. He gets to good angles on the ball, and that can improve, actually. I think he can get to better angles because he's not pulling a lot. He's just hitting very good launch angles. So if he can get the pull and launch angle at the same time, this is a super interesting guy to watch out for. Right now, he's just like a dart throw, literally top 700 whatever prospect for me. So Jackson Lovich is going to be someone that you could get pretty much for free in any league. But hit tool grades, I gave him a 30 out of 40 on the hit, 30 out of 35 on the plate approach because he does swing and miss quite a bit. But on the power, a 55 out of 65, and then a 45 out of 45 on the speed. So good power here from a big shortstop. And I think if you're in a 30-teamer and you're looking for a free name to add, this is a good guy to take a gamble on, especially Yankees. Yankees prospects, if they get a little steam, they get way more value than other guys. So if he catches on for the Yankees, you can always flip him later when that Yankees helium starts hyping him up. But the comp that I threw on him is just a bigger Paul DeJong.
It's huge. Left too big for shortstop, probably.
Yeah, maybe. But, he's got to work on that hit tool and get to the pole. And we have a really nice player here if we can do that. And it's fun. 16th rounder. So, Jackson Lovich. Number 9 is Kane Kepley with the Cubs. This is another 2025 draftee here, John. So, Kane Kepley with the Cubs was drafted primarily for speed and for defense. This guy's center fielder. He's in high A already. I should mention, I guess, that Jackson Lovich is in A ball. Kane Kepley in high A. And he's had a really strong season so far. F scores are looking pretty good for Kepley. We have enough here that we actually have some F scores from him. For Lovich, we didn't really have any F scores. But Kepley has a 100 hit tool, 147 discipline, 131 speed. This guy's contact rates are insane. The reason the hit tool is only 100, John, is because he hits the ball on the ground a lot. But an 87.1% contact rate this year and 85 in his small sample size last year. So really good contact skills and really fast. 8 steals this week. So he had 1 home run and 8 steals this week. I think he could develop into like a 10 homer guy. He's a big time line drive guy. Lots of line drives for Kane Kepley. Really good barrel rates. So despite, not hitting the ball very hard, he's just makes really good contact. So this is the guy you mentioned in your write-up that you put on there. You said, oh, Tim had a Kenny Lofton comp. This is my Kenny Lofton comp. Kane Kepley, Kenny Lofton light is my comp. Like very similar mechanics, very similar style of play from what I see. I think he's up in late 2027. But right now, John, he has 39 steals in only 59 minor league games ever. So he's averaging more than a steal every 2 games, which is pretty crazy. It's the minors, but I mean, that's fun.
Yeah, I saw that. The first thing I saw was this 23 steal total in 31 games. That's quite a rate.
And he was only caught stealing 1 time. So he's actually like really good at it too. And he's running 35. Yeah, attempt rate is 35% of the time, which if you're 23 and 1 caught stealing, run as much as you want, in my opinion. Yeah. But yeah, hit tool 60 out of 65. Plate approach, I give him a 70. By the way, this guy walks and doesn't strike out. He's like Steven Kwan, 20.9% walk rate, 12% K rate on the screen there. That is some crazy stuff. So this guy walks, he hits, he gets on base, and he steals bags. So Kane Kepley, another fun name. Kind of like AJ Ewing, who we just talked about. But I don't think he doesn't have the size of AJ Ewing, so I don't know if he's really going to get into the kind of power that Ewing does. 5'8", 180 here for Kane Kepley. But fun name to watch for sure with Chicago Cubs. Number 8, unless you have anything on Kepley. You got anything on Kepley?
No, sir. Alrighty. A lot of shortstops. So who's the Pedro Ramirez or whatever guy that might be coming for shortstop for the Cubs?
Pedro Ramirez is currently, let me give you a little sneak peek here into my prospect rankings. He's currently a top 30 prospect for me in the next iteration of the update.
So a little bit of a log jam there for the Cubs. Good problem to have. Swanson, Ramirez, and this Kepley fella. But a lot can change in a couple of years by the time we're talking about Kepley in the majors. So.
Yeah, I think Kepley's is going to be a center fielder. So I think he's outfield. So number 8, starting pitcher Daniel Egan with the Diamondbacks. So Daniel Egan, this is a guy that I liked a lot early in the season. This is a doc favorite because he had brain surgery or whatever when he was a kid. And I tried to trade him to you, and you didn't want any of that Doc narrative street in that trade, and said you got someone else that we're going to talk about.
No, I thought he was the guy. You offered me 3 pitchers, and you said him first, and I heard you talk about him. So I thought he was the guy you wouldn't want to get rid of. So I just asked for the second 2, thinking I was smart.
Yeah, I still traded him for Mike Trout, but whatever. Yeah. So Daniel Egan. Comp Ryan Pepio had a pretty rough year so far this year. John, his F scores are down. Stuff is down to 107, control down to 107, which I should notate that the F scores are now updated again. So
yeah. And as you talk, we're going to watch a Daniel Egan immaculate inning for those watching. So I'll let this play while you continue to do your thing, but you're going to see 9 pitches here, short video, but keep going.
Yeah, so Daniel Egan, very over the top here. You can see in this delivery. Woo! Look at that, a little Trey Savage-y. But I comped into Ryan Pepio, who's kind of similar. And he had a pretty rough season to date. I don't know if Doc talking about his brain messed him up this offseason or whatever. But he's back. 8 strikeouts, 0 walks last time out this week. Only 1 hit allowed. And this is the biggest part, is his command had taken steps back until the start. And John, 66% strike rate and only a 22% ball rate this last start. So like by far the best of his season. So once you get the command going with that over the top of delivery, like things are really going to move. So Daniel Egan, I think, is back on track. So just wanted to list him here at number 8 with a nice start last week.
Okay.
Yeah. Number 7. This is a guy who's been on fire this year, John. Austin O'Verne, traded to the Tampa Rays from Baltimore in the offseason Shane Baz trade, piece of that trade.
He was one of those 17 guys.
Yeah, basically. And O'Verne has been really good this year. So the problem with O'Verne that I've mentioned before is he's a little bit too much like Jacob Marcy, which is my comp for him. Because O'Verne only swings 33.9% of the time. So his swing rate is really bad. Like he's just not aggressive and he just is like way too passive. So we have a 104 power, 99 hit, 102 discipline, 144 speed. So it gets him to that 144 speed. Auvergne already this year, John, has 7 home runs, 27 steals, 16 extra base hits. So from like a power speed basis alone, this guy is super impressive so far for prospects. But I don't know, man. A guy who only swings 33% of the time, I just don't know if I can trust that. I only gave him a 35 out of 40 on the hit. On the plate approach, I only give him a 40 out of 40 because I think he's like his walks are not based on him like having a good eye. His walks are just based on him not swinging, in my opinion. But I did give him a 45 out of 55 on the power and a 70 out of 70 on the speed. So Auvergne is an interesting name. He was top 250 for me on my last update. I don't know where he's going to land yet in my rankings. Definitely just based on graduations, top 200. Probably he might be a top 150 guy. So definitely a name to watch, but I'm not a fan of the passivity with Auvergne.
There must be a massive chasm between minor league catching defense and major leagues because some of these steals totals you see are just wild.
Yep, I agree. So 1 second here. Go ahead, John, and talk about the next guy.
Auvergne. Okay, here we go. Number 6. Reinhold Navarro, who I should know maybe, a Pirates pitching prospect. I'm going to read Tim's words to you. Reinhold Navarro, Pirates A-ball pitching prospect, comped Jose Alvarado. I guess that means, does this mean this guy's a reliever? Let's see what Tim's prime skills.
Yes, I'm back. All so basically, this guy throws a ridiculous fastball. He can top out at 100 on this fastball. I give him a 65 out of 70 on the fastball, and he gets up to between 19 to 21 inches of induced vertical break on this fastball, and that's as a lefty. So he's pretty much like a 1.5 pitch guy from the left side. And he's really awesome. Like, look at the F stuff. 116 F stuff, 65 control. Yes. So you can see that the fastball he can actually hit in the zone with 53% strike rate on that fastball. The other pitches are rough. You see, that's just the last start. Expand that game date there.
This is a screenshot.
Oh, that's
I think.
Okay.
Is it just because he only? That's not just the only inning he's pitched.
No, this is not the only game he's pitched. Okay. He's pitched other games, and his command is really. He had one good start here because this last weekend, 9 strikeouts, 1 walk, and only 1 hit allowed. So really strong start for Navarro, which is how he got on the list. I liked him last year when he was at Complex because he's so fun with that fastball. But like he only throws fastball, slider, changeup. The slider he cannot land in the zone like at all, and then the changeup is an 87 to 89 mile per hour changeup, which is actually pretty solid. I threw a 50 out of 55 on it. The problem with the changeup is he doesn't command it very well. So like the fastball, he can actually is the only one pitch he can command. So I think if he could actually figure out, because he's only 19, like he has a lot of time, if he could actually figure out command of the changeup and then maybe add on a couple other fastballs, like if he could figure out like a 2-seamer or a sinker or whatever you want to call it and a cutter to match up against that fastball, then he could be a pretty interesting player. But he's got to figure out ways to tunnel off that fastball to bridge to the slider, or else he's just going to be like a major league loogie reliever who comes in and just throws a fastball and a changeup, and that's it, and gets 2 guys out because his fastballs. Obviously, like if you throw 100 with that kind of induced vertical break, you're going to make the majors at some point. You're going to be in the bullpen at some point. But can he actually become a starter is the real question. Not to mention he's only 6 foot, 178 pounds. So he's built like me, not really built like a professional athlete.
Yeah, 18 walks and 21.1 innings. I don't think we need to spend too much time on a single A reliever. What's the real fantasy upside? But that's an interesting guy to talk about.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the point of this podcast is we're going to give you names that other people aren't ever going to talk about. Number 5, this is a guy that no one's ever talked about, Jason Chavone with the Astros. You spell this, SCHIAVONE. So Jason Chavone is a high A catcher and first baseman because he's such a good hitter that they've been playing him at first when he's not catching. He was an 11th rounder out of James Madison last year. And when he came, or a couple of years ago, and when he came up last year, John, he hit under 200. So this guy literally was garbage last year, like nowhere near the majors, like nothing going for him. This season, he has 17 home runs in 34 games. Literally a home run every other game. And last week he had 8 extra base hits, 3 home runs, 478 batting average. We don't have exit velocities on him because it's in high A. I wish I had it. But I comped him to Hunter Goodman, and he has like the exact same batting stance as Hunter Goodman. Reminds me a ton of Hunter Goodman, except like obviously he's not doing this. He's doing the same thing, but he's in a high A. He's not doing the majors. So the worst Hunter Goodman, right? Hunter Goodman light. But he also had 9 steals this year too. So he actually runs a little bit too. So pretty interesting player. I gave him a 30 out of 35 on the hit tool, 40 out of 40 on the plate approach, 50 out of 60 on the power. I don't have like exit velocity data or else that might affect that. And then 45 out of 40 on the speed. So definitely interesting name. Kind of a classic Astros prospect where you have bad contact, 67%, and then like power and some random speed here. But kind of a fun name to watch, and it'll be interesting to see what he does going forward because 17 home runs already in 34 games. Like, could he hit like 45 home runs or whatever in the minors? Like, it's pretty crazy.
All right, here we'll do a trivia. You got to close your eyes. I'm going to put the answer on the screen. So the people watching can watch you do this. There are 8 hitters in professional baseball, not counting rookie stuff that's not on the dashboard, which you know about. 8 hitters that have hit 15 plus home runs, all levels. See how many you can get.
Oh, goodness. Mickey Moniak?
No.
Chavone, obviously.
Yep.
On
the spot.
Schwarber?
Yep.
Al Schwarber. Judge?
Yep.
Oh, who else?
There's only one more minor leaguer.
Only one more minor leaguer.
Yeah.
I had this the other day. I was looking at this and I saw someone had 14 the other day. Now I can't think of
15. He's a 22-and-a-half-year-old. I don't know who he plays for. Sorry, that would be a good hint.
Do you know what level he's at?
Here, I'll pull it up. After we'll get you to get this guy, and then we'll give the rest. Although people are already seeing
O'Neill Cruz.
Cruz. Nope, he's not there.
Oh, I thought he was there.
This guy is a Diamondbacks prospect currently in Double-A.
Oh, it's Beltre.
No,
not Manuel Beltre.
Manuel
Pena.
Yes,
sorry.
There you go. All right,
yeah,
open
Manuel
your eyes.
Pena. There we go.
You missed Buxton, Rice, Jordan, Murakami.
Oh, I should have got Rice. I've got Rice in a league, and he's like single-handedly winning for me.
So that's amazing.
Nice.
The Chavone's got 17 homers, only behind Schwarber in pro ball, but he's a long way from the majors.
Yep. Okay, number 4, back to the T10. Number 4 is Yohandy Morales in AAA, so he might matter this year, John. Morales plays first base and third base, and this guy, kind of like Chavone, is like a power guy. And not really much else to offer. The F scores don't really like him. 100 power, 100 hit, 94 discipline, 92 speed. Kind of like by F score standards, rates out as a quadruple A guy. But he does have power. Exit velocities are high. He hits the ball on the ground too much is the biggest problem, because if it was just all exit velocities, he has a 94 average EV, 106.7 90th. Or 108.1 on the whole year, 113.1 max. So really good exit velocities, but like he hits the ball on the ground 50% of the time for a power guy, so that's not good. So 8 extra base hits last week, 3 home runs, 609 batting average last week, which is super impressive. And who's blocking him? Like Brady House, Nasim Nunez or whatever. Like he has a shot to come up, and he was a second rounder. He was the first overall pick in the second round back in 2023 out of Miami. They gave him like $2.8 million. So they have no reason not to give him a shot, I think, if the other guys are not performing. So he should get a shot at some point to play, whether it's a first, third, DH, whatever. And do I think he's going to make it? Not necessarily. F scores don't like him, and I've learned to trust the F scores. But if you're in a super deep league and you just want a guy who's going to play, who's coming up, then I would just, put a circle around Yohandy Morales with the Nationals. So I gave him a hit tool 40 out of 40, play approach 35 out of 40, power 40 out of 60, because he hits the ball on the ground way too much to get to that 60 power right now. And then speed a 35 out of 40.
Yeah, late highlights here. This is 2 years old anyway, but Yohandy Morales, a Nationals prospect you might hear about soon, AAA. So
yeah, my comp on him is CJ Cron.
Nice. The Cron Bros.
Yeah.
My first dynasty team ever I did it in 2020. I did a dynasty league out of boredom during the shutdown. I took CJ Crone and Kevin Crone. Remember Kevin Crone?
Yes, that's the one that I forget about. CJ was around for a while.
Kevin never
was
made
the first one up though, wasn't he? Isn't Kevin the older brother?
No, he got like a cup of coffee in 2021, 2022. I don't know. He hit a ton of homers in AAA, but he was clearly one of those guys that like feasts in AAA. But I had them both, didn't work out, sold the team, or just quit. Classic dynasty league quit situation. My team name was, everybody was like, pick a minor league team name. So you had like the Daytona Tortugas and all these other like cutesy names, and I just went with Crohn's disease. That was my team name.
Solid.
I'm guessing it's been changed since then. That was the one where I was over it by like the 15th round or whatever, 25th round. And I was like, I don't know, the Rockies hit well at home. I'll just draft their whole top prospect list. And didn't work. So.
Yeah, that's funny. That was maybe a good strategy back in like when were they good last? Like 2018? Daniel Murphy, Arenado years.
Yeah, well, don't forget about shout out to Charlie Blackmon. We got to throw him in.
Yes, DJ LeMahieu, pre-Yankees DJ LeMahieu. Number 3, Cargo, of course. Number 3, Cash Mayfield, high A with the Padres, another baller start. I think this is his second time. No, first time on the T10, second in the T15. So he's been in the write-ups, but he has not been on the podcast. But we did talk about him a decent amount in the preseason pods or whatever.
We had no one else to talk about on the Padres.
Yeah, and then now Ethan Salas. Look at Ethan Salas.
Yeah.
So 9 strikeouts, 0 walks, 1 hit earlier this week. And Cash Mayfield, a 3-pitch guy. So fastball, changeup, slider. The changeup is his bread and butter pitch. 60 out of 70 on the changeup. The slider, 55 out of 60. The fastball, I think, give him a 45 out of 55. It's a mid-90s fastball, 92, 97 from the left side. He was a first rounder from the Padres. Pretty interesting player here. I think he needs to develop more pitches. 3 pitches just is not going to work in the majors, especially like you need these bridge pitches nowadays to be very effective. So like he's going to have to develop a cutter, like a gyro slider, like for sure. And then maybe a 2-seamer too. Like he's going to need a couple extra pitches. I think if he develops a couple extra fastballs of those pitches, then he could be a number 2 starter in the majors. But with only 3 pitches, he's probably more like a number 3 guy. He does have good command, but it's just like these fastball changeup guys just sometimes don't work out. And we see that kind of play out when they get like they can, you can dominate with that in the minors, but it's hard to just have 3 pitches in the majors and make it work.
Yeah. What just happened? I just deleted us from the thing, but
no, that's okay. We're still here.
There he is. Full screen it. There you go. His name is Coleman Cash Mayfield. I knew his first name couldn't actually be Cash.
Oh yeah. Well, last time we talked about him, you said that, or no, Doc said he was Indian, or someone said he was Indian. And I was like, no, he's not Cash Patel.
Yeah, is Cash an Indian name? It might be because
I don't know.
There's
only 2 Cashes I've ever heard of. This guy and Cash Patel are the only 2.
Kevin Cash with a C, but his name is Coleman, which he's definitely white. Coleman.
Should I, if I have another boy, should I name them Cash Kanak? KK.
Yeah, that would be that'd be cool.
Cash Kanak, get the alliteration going on.
That sounds like a payment system app.
You don't want too many with my letter. You don't want a triple alliteration. A double alliteration.
Is that's too easy of a joke, Tim. Let's move on.
Stay with that. All right, number 2, Carson Milbrandt. This is the guy that you did get from me instead of Egan, who ends turning out to be better, maybe. So
let's spend 45 minutes on this guy because I need him.
Yeah, Carson Milbrandt in Double-A balling out right now. He had 11 strikeouts, 0 walks, only 3 hits allowed last time out. And the big thing, John, which I mentioned in the article, is that he developed a new pitch over the offseason. Last season, he was fastball, slider, cutter, curve. And now he had a really bad changeup, like a 30-grade changeup that he didn't really throw. But now he's got a kick change that he developed, and this kick changeup is sick. I threw a 45 out of 60 on it because I know he's still developing it, but I think he could get up to a 60-grade pitch. It's a really good pitch. And a lot of these strikeouts that he was getting this last time out were on that pitch. The other thing is his command is significantly better this year. This is a guy who walked a ton of guys last year. And this year he's not. He's at like an 8% walk rate or something, which is completely manageable. Before then, he was running like 12% walk rates. So he has dipped his walk rate from like 12 down to 8 while developing a potential 60-grade kick change. while also having other really good stuff. He throws his fastball 95 to 97. I threw a 60 on that pitch. Slider, an 84 to 86 mile an hour slider. I threw 55 out of 60. He's got a cutter that he throws 86 to 89. I threw 50 out of 55 on that. And then the curve is 80 to 82 miles an hour. I threw a 45 out of 50 on that. This kick change gets up to 90 miles an hour too. So really good stuff here from Carson Milbrandt. Increased command, new pitch. He's really rocking and rolling this year. So really interesting player to watch out for. I comped him to Dylan Cease, dude. I think he could be like Cease. Remember when Cease first came up, his command was atrocious.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of Dylan Cease a little bit. So
Miami's got no shortage of pitchers. They just don't seem to work out for one reason or the other.
Yes, poor Snelling. I mean, like, we'll see what happens. I don't even know how to rank him right now. I'm like, what do we do with this? We don't know where he's gonna be. If it's TJ, if it's just a rest thing, we don't really know what's going on yet. So we'll have to see. But the number one player this week is Devin Fitzgerald. Pretty much everyone and their mother is talking about him right now. So
even my feed has been loaded up with Fitz-Gerald hype.
Yeah, and I'm in a 30-teamer with a bunch of these guys like Doc and Owen and whatever and Ross. And, of course, Ross in this league traded Liam Doyle for Devin Fitzgerald and kind of blew the whole – like everyone's like, what is he doing? But I actually think it was a good move. I actually have Devin Fitzgerald ranked ahead of Liam Doyle in my next rankings update. So there you go, Ross. I got you. I got your back.
Wasn't he like number one on the aggregated consensus thing that we're a part of? Something like that from Ross?
I don't know if he's top number one, but I think he's like top 10. But he's really good. He's got a good hit tool. He's got power. He does everything. Like the guy literally has like 10 home runs or something now and 11 steals. And plus he's running an 84% contact rate. So this last week he had 5 home runs. So yeah, 5 home runs, 1 steal, 333 batting average. So if you can hit 300 with good contact rates, get on base at a really good clip, and then also steal bags and hit for bombs, you're going to be really good. So Devin Fitzgerald, I comped in my last rankings write-up, dude, I comped him to Kevin McGonigal light. And then all of a sudden I see now everybody writing, oh, this guy's like Kevin McGonigal. And I'm like, what the like these people have read my stuff and they like steal my comp. Like nobody else does comps. I'm the comp guy. Everyone else is too afraid to throw comps out because people get mad at them.
Yeah, we did a little sleuthing on that to see if we could prove that we were getting ripped off, but I couldn't prove it. We can't go to court.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I'm the one who came up with that first, but whatever. Like other people are running with it. I see it like literally. I saw like 5 other people put that on X or whatever, and I'm like, okay, whatever. You know, I get maybe they see the same thing. He does have a very similar batting mechanics and very similar profile. Yeah. So, like, if someone else came up with it, whatever, good on you. You got the same eye that I have, I guess.
McGonigal's at the top of everybody's mind, so it's a reasonable thing that you could think of. And did he get traded for Mackenzie Gore? Is that why? Because he was on the Rangers recently.
Yes, yeah, he did. That man, the Nationals really made out in that trade. They got him. They got Jeremy Cabrera, who I talked about Owen last week. They got Gavin Fine. Like they just raked in on that trade. That was a really good trade for the Nationals. Hopefully they look good from that, and it's not like the last big trade where they traded Soto and then they got one good piece. I mean, Wood turned out really good. I guess Abrams turned out good too, and Gore turned out because they flipped Gore for these guys now.
Yeah,
so it's like kind of interesting. But the rest of the pieces around that trade all failed. So, but anyway, getting to the tools here. Devin Fitzgerald hit 45 out of 60, plate approach 60 out of 65, power 40 out of 55, and speed 50 out of 50. So very fun, very well-rounded, very solid switch hitting middle infielder. He plays second, short, and third, John. He's played like over 10 games at each of those positions in the minors, which is really good. So hopefully they keep just doing that because that'd be really cool to have like a really good player who plays multiple positions like that in the majors. So
where's he at now? He's in high A. So
yeah, he's ready for Double A. He needs to get the call up. Like he needs to be up in Double A now doing this thing, and maybe he's up early next year. If he can make Double A soon, maybe he's up earlier next year. I've got a mid to late 2027. I'm just thinking like part of my process in this ETA is like, are the Nationals going to be good next year? Yeah. Like if they're not going to be good, then why would they call him up and like ruin his, ruin their money thing with it unless they sign him to a Connor Griffin deal. So
No pitching there. Right. Maybe what's the one guy's name?
They've got a lot of pitching, bro. Sikora and Carlin Susana are both hurt. So when those guys are back, and then they've got Miguel Cime Jr., who's also a big riser. So this Nationals farm is maybe like top 3 in baseball right now. Like they're up there with like the Brewers and the Cardinals. They're a really interesting farm. So, and of course, all the good teams right now, like all the good farms and all the good teams are in the National League. The AL kind of sucks. So except for the AL East, like the AL is just like, wow. So I don't know what's going on with that, but make sure you subscribe to MLB Data Warehouse. That's what's going on with that. So that you can get the articles and you can get my full rankings when they come out. You have 2 weeks. My full rankings will be out within 2 weeks. 150 new write-ups. The only place you're going to be able to get that in a nice, clean, straight format, unless you want to, look through a million X posts and like cry your eyes out due to, trying to figure my rankings out, then you should just subscribe. Make it easy for yourself. Use the app. John has a nice app for the rankings too. It makes it really clean cut, and you get all the F scores.
Yeah. That's all right. Do it.
That's it. Peace out, everybody. See you next time.
Yeah, we bring the spree. Prospects, DFS, betting strategy. John's grumpy, Tim scouting like a man possessed. Doc drafting comeback stories better than the rest. But the tools are elite and the content's free. And your fantasy trophy gonna look prestigious. ML.